Tori Roloff accurately portrays the turmoil of preparing children for family photographs in recent video. Greetings, viewers. Welcome back to my channel. For the latest news updates, please subscribe to the channel. Parents are very aware that organizing family photographs may be tumultuous. Ensuring that each youngster is appropriately attired, has groomed hair, has consumed a snack to prevent distress, and is not experiencing a tantrum due to prolonged standing and smiling can be exhausting. Tori Roloff's recent photograph of her family preparing for pictures is remarkably relatable. The star of Little People, Big World, and her spouse, Zach, have 3 children together. Following their marriage in 2015, the TLC couple gave birth to their son, Jackson, in 2017. They received their daughter, Lila, in 2019, followed by their youngest boy, Josiah, in 2022. Tori shared a video on Instagram illustrating the tumult of preparing children for family photographs. Tori posted a new video showcasing her family of 5 on Instagram on September 14th. Why did this preparation for family photos feel so precise? It is always so chaotic, she captioned the update. The footage depicted Zach, Tori, and their children hastily entering a bathroom and subsequently exiting composed and properly attired. In the video, Zach, Tori, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah entered a bathroom and subsequently closed the door. At the video's outset, they all donned casual attire. Upon their emergence, the Roloffs were unexpectedly attired in garments suitable for family photographs, complemented by impeccably styled hair. She synchronized the footage with appropriate sounds from Freaky Friday. Tori appropriately synchronized the video with audio from Freaky Friday 2003, including Jamie Lee Curtis' character urgently calling to her on-screen daughter, Anna, hurry up, over loud rock music. Lindsay Lohan's character nonchalantly responded, "What? I'm ready," as she exited her bedroom fully dressed and prepared for the day. Fans responded to the charming video in the comments. Instagram users were captivated by the charming video. A fan remarked, "You possess the most beautiful family." Another person cried, "I adore it," while another echoed, "It is so charming." Another Instagram user remarked, "Huh, I adore the outfits." Another admirer said, "Truly picture-perfect family." Other parents may empathize with Tori's predicament. Simultaneously, some parents deemed Tori's video exceedingly relevant. An Instagram user remarked, "If only preparing everyone were as simple as opening and closing a door." Family photos are consistently chaotic in our household as well, yet we undertake them annually for the sake of memories. Another fan remarked, "It is impressive that you managed to create this prior to family photos," while another individual noted, "It is astonishing how you express a desire to harm others and then smile and apologize." Another follower remarked, "I possess a feral household and fully comprehend the tumult of preparation." Matt Roloff of LPBW criticizes Zach and Tori Roloff's priorities in light of family conflict. "I am disappointed." Matt Roloff, a star of Little People, Big World, acknowledged his disapproval of Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff's priorities in light of their familial discord. During a conversation with his ex-wife Amy Roloff, Matt, 62, expressed his frustration regarding Zach, 33, and Tori, 32, not attending an imminent fundraising event hosted by the Dwarf Athletic Association of America. Amy, 61, informed Matt about their son and daughter-in-law in a teaser clip for the program airing on Tuesday, April 16th. "As I understand, they had alternative arrangements for this weekend." Matt, who was married to Amy from 1987 to 2016, stated that he did not believe the couple had conflicting intentions, suggesting that they intended to devise alternative arrangements and sought to establish a plausible excuse for their absence. Amy appeared unfazed by the circumstance, in contrast to Matt, and acknowledged her ignorance on how Zach, Tori, and their children, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah, were spending the evening. "Regardless of the circumstances, I believe they ought to have been present to provide support for you and their organization," Matt remarked to Amy. "It is amusing to observe young Jackson and Lila playing with a soccer ball, and then to attend the convention last year only to find their lack of support for you and this fundraiser." He expressed that it was disappointing to observe their lack of support for the cause, although Amy stated she was not preoccupied with the slight. What is the net worth of Karen Chandler, a long-standing star of Little People, Big World? Since its debut in 2006, the stars of Little People, Big World have shared their lives with audiences, allowing fans to witness the Roloff family's significant triumphs and tribulations. The family's parents, Amy and Matt Roloff, have divorced since the show's inception, with Amy remarrying Chris Marek in 2021. Matt has also entered a romantic relationship with Karen Chandler, who has become his fiancée. As Little People, Big World enters its 25th season and a forthcoming wedding, individuals are keen to ascertain Karen Chandler's net worth. Here is what is Karen Chandler's net worth? She has been employed at Roloff Farms for 10 years. Karen has been associated with the Roloff family prior to her romantic involvement with Matt. She served as a manager at Roloff Farms for a decade and has experienced numerous pumpkin seasons alongside the family. Karen and Matt commenced their official relationship in 2017, despite speculation regarding Matt's infidelity with Karen during his marriage to Amy prior to their public acknowledgement. As of 2018, Karen is no longer affiliated with Roloff Farms, and her current employment status remains ambiguous. She and Matt are said to frequently reside in Arizona, Karen's home state, and engage with their offspring from previous marriages. This extensive travel and familial engagement has led fans to speculate about the financial means supporting their lifestyle. Karen's net worth is presently estimated at $4.5 million, likely derived from her tenure at Roloff Family Farm and her television appearances. It is reported that she does not reside on Roloff Family Farm, which is now solely owned by Matt following his divorce from Amy, suggesting that her net worth may stem from an undisclosed side venture. Are Karen and Matt entering into matrimony? Karen and Matt are now engaged and are anticipated to marry in 2024. In April 2023, Matt posted an endearing photo of himself and Karen, prominently featuring the ring. In the comment, Matt stated, "She said yes." The couple plans to conduct a simple yet elegant wedding in 2024, Matt said people. She and Matt are currently constructing a farmhouse on Roloff Farms in Oregon. The couple appears exceedingly content and dedicates considerable time to family. Good housekeeping indicates that Karen, in her leisure, assists in babysitting Matt's grandchildren, Jackson, Lila, Ember, and Bode. Matt conveyed to the magazine, "I value her time with her children, and she values my time with my children, which is one of the strengths of Karen and my relationship." Regardless of Karen's employment or income, the most commendable aspect of her relationship with Matt is their mutual affection. It appears that, despite the fluctuations, the Roloffs are thriving. Matt and Karen of Little People, Big World make significant announcement to the Roloff family in the forthcoming episode of Little People, Big World. Matt Roloff and Karen Chandler will disclose significant news to the family. Season 25 of Little People, Big World has showcased numerous significant events transpired within the initial episodes. Zach Roloff underwent emergency shunt surgery. Tensions arose among family members regarding the organization of a fundraising event, with Amy Roloff assuming leadership and facing accusations of behaving like a dictator. Nonetheless, the season will also feature positive moments. A promotional segment for the upcoming episode of Little People, Big World Season 25, provided by TLC, reveals that Matt and Karen have announced their engagement. Although the teaser does not capture the entire family's response, it does depict Matt and Karen disclosing the significant news to Amy's spouse, Chris Marek. "I asked Karen to marry me, and she said yes," Matt states at the outset of the promo. Chris leans over the table to examine the ring on Karen's hand, while Matt remarks that he and Karen will approach their wedding in a completely different manner. He humorously states, "We're going to invite you guys," prompting laughter from both him and Chris. In a confessional, Karen reveals that she and Matt have not yet formulated the guest list, expressing concern when Matt mentioned that Chris and Amy would be invited. "I was like, oh," Karen exclaims. Matt and Karen's engagement is significant and thrilling news, but the Little People, Big World promotion also hints to something quite disheartening. Zach traverses the grass and calls out to his son Jackson. "Do you wish to play a game?" The camera shifts to Jackson, who appears despondent. Zach elaborates that Jackson was engaged in soccer with peers, during which some remarked on his differences. He observes that his son is encountering such comments for the first time. The promotional segment concludes with Tori Roloff approaching Jackson in an attempt to comfort him, asking, "Are you okay?" She inquires. It is disheartening to learn that Jackson is being ridiculed for his uniqueness, as described by Zach. Numerous social media users conveyed similar sentiments in the comments section of the Instagram post promoting this matter. Kimariam Koinash remarked, "I cannot bear to see Jackson's feelings hurt." It is hoped that Tori and Zach will inspire Jackson to persist in playing soccer, demonstrating to his peers that he is equally deserving of inclusion and that he merits love and appreciation not only from his family but also from society at large. Matt and Karen became engaged in April 2023. Amy has already progressed in her relationship with Chris, allowing Matt to similarly advance with Karen. Nonetheless, Karen has not always received a favorable reception since her debut on Little People, Big World, facing accusations of adversely affecting Matt's life. A recent episode disclosed that Matt intends to bequeath the farm to Amy upon his death. During this scene, Karen expressed her disinterest in inheriting the property. Even if she influenced that decision, it is likely advantageous for Amy to inherit it instead. The conflict between Matt and Zach Roloff. An examination of their dispute recently, Little People, Big World, star Matt Roloff seems to be experiencing estrangement from his son Zach. What is the reason? Viewers have observed Zach Roloff and his father, Matt Roloff, on TLC's Little People, Big World since Zach's childhood. However, he is now a married individual with 3 children. While most viewers recognize that familial dynamics often entail fluctuations, could a recent conflict between Matt and Zach irreparably damage their relationship? In season 25, Matt announces his engagement to former Roloff Farm employee Karen Chandler. In a confessional, he reveals that all his children are pleased for him, except for Zach, from whom he has not received a response. Did Zach overlook his father's announcement? Or is there an underlying issue between them? We suspect the latter. Here are the pertinent details. What is the reason for Zach Roloff's anger towards his father, Matt? Zach had assisted his father on Roloff farms during his youth. The farm emerged as a central theme of the TLC show and, more recently, a source of discord among family members. Following the official separation of Matt and Amy Roloff, Matt opted to sell his share of the property. Zach expressed a desire to purchase the northern section of the farm, which encompassed the castle, wooded area, and a cowboy town. Matt sought to sell a segment of land to Zach at a substantial price, but Zach declined the offer. Consequently, due to the inability to finalize a transaction, Zach and his wife, Tori, relocated to Battleground, Washington, where they purchased a residence and currently reside with their 3 children. Despite Zach's assertion to E! News in May 2022 that familial relations were all good, viewers of the show remained skeptical. Following difficulties in selling the family farm, Matt devised an alternative strategy, opting to list the main house for short-term rental on platforms such as Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. In the season 24 conclusion of Little People, Big World, Zach expressed his sentiments over his father's recent news concerning the farm. Zach stated, "My father informed us that he is leasing the house as a short-term rental. I am attempting to emotionally detach from the situation. It feels inconsequential now. If circumstances had unfolded differently, it is somewhat ironic, even absurd, to be honest. However, the family dynamics could have been altered significantly. Instead, he is resorting to this alternative of renting to unfamiliar individuals. Much of this situation is simply perplexing. Zach appears to be discontented that his father was unable to sell him that segment of the family land for a fair price. An integral aspect of his youth has been transformed into a tourist destination, despite the possibility of preservation. Zach and Tori Roloff should cease their grievances regarding the notoriety associated with Little People, Big World. Fans of Little People, Big World are incensed with Zach Roloff and Tori Roloff following their explanation for departing the TLC reality series. Little People, Big World premiered in 2006 and focuses on the Roloff family. There have been numerous fluctuations among various family members over the years. Zach and Tori have officially disclosed their departure from the series following the airing of season 25 of Little People, Big World. The response to Zach and Tori's significant news has been robust. The podcast Raising Heights posted a clip on Instagram in which they addressed their imminent departure. In the video, Zach and Tori stated that reality television can fracture familial relationships and articulated the difficulty of being the intermediary between his parents. Nonetheless, fans in the comments area expressed their dissatisfaction with the content being presented. The pair from Little People, Big World is expressing dissatisfaction with the circumstances. However, they continue to discuss the family on a podcast, as observed by Rhonda_Payne_Steely. Patrity318 asserts that Zach and Tori ought to exhibit greater gratitude, stating, "You criticize them, yet your life is significantly enhanced by their contributions." Conversely, K_Low72 perceives Zach and Tori as somewhat hypocritical, given that they continue to publicly share their lives through their podcast. Isn't this podcast and social media essentially analogous to reality television? They inquired. The majority of commenters claimed that Zach and Tori were excessively lamenting, suggesting they should simply let it go and move on, as articulated by Grace for Ever 1980. Your father has progressed, similar to your mother. Notwithstanding the considerable criticism directed at Zach and Tori's podcast discourse, they did receive some support in the comments section. Anetas24 acknowledges the animosity directed against Matt and his present partner, Karen Chandler. Casey Campo anticipates that the Raising Heights podcast will provide the couple with a platform to further exhibit their identities both individually and collectively. Nancy Newton, Art will genuinely miss Zach and Tori on Little People, Big World, but recognizes that remaining involved may not be the healthiest choice. If remaining involved with Little People, Big World proves detrimental to their well-being, then it is indeed prudent for Zach and Tori to depart. Reality television personalities frequently disclose aspects of their lives that would remain unseen by the public. The fans' reactions to their podcast debate highlight a valid observation that the podcast is only an alternative iteration of a reality program. Nevertheless, the podcast will grant them greater autonomy over their public discourse, eliminating dependence on unforeseen topics that may arise from other family members. What is the annual income of the Little People, Big World cast? Indication: it is substantial. The successful TLC series has served as a significant revenue stream for Amy, Matt, and Zach Roloff for more than 15 years. It is difficult to conceive of a reality television family with a longer history than the Kardashians. Nonetheless, little creativity is required. Little People, Big World has indeed existed for a lengthier duration. Indeed, you have interpreted that correctly. TLC audiences were initially acquainted with the Roloffs in March 2006, a complete year and a half prior to the premiere of KUWTK on E! Presently, Little People, Big World is in its 25th season, and given the Roloff family's extensive television expertise spanning over a decade, people are keen to ascertain the family's salary for 2024. It is appropriate to provide you with an overview of the situation. The current financial status of the Roloffs is outlined, including the expected earnings of Amy and Matt. Amy's net worth is $6 million, as reported by Celebrity Net Worth. Despite previously operating a prosperous farm with her ex-husband Matt in Oregon, it is presumed that the majority of her income derives from the TLC reality show. Amy's precise compensation from LPBW has not been disclosed. However, Business Insider approximates that performers on cable reality shows earn between tens of thousands to $10 million. An agent informed the site that for lesser-known docu ensembles, the compensation per episode typically varies from $1,500 on the lower end to $3,000 on the higher end. Following 3 years of success, this amount may increase to between $7,000 and $10,000 per episode. Subsequently, you begin to ascend to the Kardashian echelon. We are skeptical that the Roloffs earn over $1 million annually from TLC. Nonetheless, after 25 seasons, it can be asserted that they are faring quite well in terms of royalties. Despite their divorce in 2016, Matt and Amy own identical net worths of $6 million, according to Celebrity Net Worth. This is not unexpected, as the former couple formerly managed their farm together and co-starred prominently on LPBW. Matt and Amy have authored or co-authored several books now available on Amazon. Together, they wrote the 2008 book Amy and Matt's 33-year-old son presently features on LPBW with his spouse, Tori, and their offspring, Jackson, Lila, and Josiah. Celebrity Net Worth indicates his net worth at $700,000 during the show's initial years. At that time, Zach was presumably regarded as a B player. According to Business Insider, B players on cable reality shows typically earn between $15,000 and $35,000 per season. In recent seasons, Zach and Tori have emerged as principal characters on the program, suggesting they likely earn between $7,000 and $10,000 each episode, similar to Amy and Matt. Zach and Tori generate income from their collaborative podcast, Raising Heights, begun in February 2024. In that same month, they disclosed in an episode their departure from Little People, Big World following season 25. Tori's net worth is not publicly disclosed. However, it can be estimated to be several $100,000, slightly below Zach's net worth. Her initial earnings were derived from her employment at the Roloff family farm during the pumpkin season. However, following her introduction to Zach and her debut on Little People, Big World in 2011, Tori immersed herself in her creative career and established her own photography business. Additionally, she served as a teacher from 2013 to 2017. Similar to his twin brother Zach, Jeremy's net worth is estimated at $700,000. The 33-year-old, together with his wife Audrey and his children Ember, Bode, and Radley, departed from the program in 2018. They are currently anticipating the arrival of their fourth child in the spring of 2024. The couple, married in 2014, co-authored a book titled A Love Letter Life and have recently finished their second book. Regardless of whether you are single and seeking companionship, engaged in a committed relationship, or wishing to enhance your love for your spouse, Jeremy and Audrey provide you with the tools to pursue a deliberate and creative approach.